Been a couple days. Monday night was very tough for Buffalo sports fans, which is nothing new. I mean, we've been through it all from wide right to no goal, 13 seconds, the Music City forward pass, and now this premature whistle has ended a Buffalo sports season. And we could sit here and we could complain about that goal in the third period that should have counted, but the whistle blew prematurely. And I've seen the other sides where, you know, they say that the goalie did possess it long enough, and maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But for a Buffalo sports fan, to us it's going to go down that he didn't, and that the referee blew his whistle too early, and maybe needs to think tantric thoughts while he's got the whistle in his mouth. But I don't want to get into too much of that. I want to talk real quick about what a great season for Buffalo hockey. I mean, for 14 years, Buffalo hockey just kind of existed. I might have a couple games on in the background. I'm a football fan, first and foremost. Baseball's my second sport. Hockey comes in third. But when your team is bad on a third favorite sport, you don't watch it a lot. And I didn't. There's a lot of Buffalo sports between 2011 and 2012 and 2026 that I did not watch. A lot of Buffalo hockey. This year, I started getting into it. I first started hearing the rumblings. I hadn't seen a game in December because they were losing again, and then they started winning. They went on that 10-game win streak, and I saw the rumblings. My Bills chat was talking about the Sabres, so I started watching. And I'll be the first to admit I'm not the greatest Sabres fan. I only have one shirt and a couple hats. I have increased that. I've now got a second shirt, the Atlantic Division champions, and I honestly prefer the red and black color scheme, the goat head logo, because that's the Sabres that I first started watching in the late '90s under Dominic Hasek and my favorite player Miroslav Shatan. But this was a great season, and Rasmus Dahlin is my favorite Saber. I have seen him in the games that I've watched over the past couple years, and his energy and his fighting spirit is just fantastic. So it was a great season, and yeah, we can look back at the way it ended, Game 7, another Game 7 that Buffalo hockey loses, the Sabres. But we got to move on. It was a great season. They're a young team. It's a long season in the NHL. They'll fight. They'll come back, and hopefully they'll entertain us again because that's what sports is. And sure, you want to win. Everybody wants to have their team celebrate that Stanley Cup or that World Series or that Super Bowl or whatever it is you're competing for, the World Cup. Um, but it only happens for one team. And are the rest losers because they don't get it? That's the way some people think. But as a fan, no. The Sabres, they gave us something this year that they hadn't in a long time. They reinvigorated hockey in Buffalo and for its fans, and for a fan like me who's a casual supporter that hasn't been to a Sabres game since probably 2002 maybe. It was great to watch him, to put him on my TV, to watch hockey in April and May in the playoffs, and that was fantastic. So great season, Buffalo Sabres. Love you, and can't wait to see what you do in the future.